They're coming here. They're waiting at the edge of the city. They peer around buildings at night. And they'll take you one by one, and no one will hear you scream. No one will hear you scream.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Walterdoom back for another episode of Film and Guts. And if you want to follow me on those social medias, it's Walterdoom Horror on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. All right. So on today's episode, I'm going to talk about horror movies that I was surviving. What brought me to this conversation was I was at work and I was talking about horror films, and I think this was like around Halloween time or what have you. So, you know, everybody's getting their Halloween on, everybody's like gearing up for the festivities. Unfortunately, I didn't really engage in any activities this year, unfortunately. Sucks, but maybe next year. I feel like I do this every year. I feel like I want to engage in Halloween, but I end up not engaging in it, and yeah, it goes like, oh yeah, maybe next year, but I don't know. We'll see. I know for sure I really couldn't get it done this year. Just like trying to get to do any activities or even like get a costume. Like I lagged it so much on getting a costume. It was ridiculous. And what didn't help also is like just a lot of things was going on personally, and then when the time came of Halloween, it was just like, oh shit, it's the week of Halloween. Let me try and get a costume, but then it's like, damn, what costumes will be available? You know what I'm saying? Like, long story short, I didn't even end up doing Halloween, which sucks, but maybe next year. Going back to what I was saying, like, I was having a conversation at work. We were talking about like horror movies that we could all possibly survive in, you know, and the thing is, like, I'm pretty sure we've all thought about horror movies we could survive in. I'm pretty sure some of us, we've watched a film and was like, I could survive that. And then there's other films like, I don't know, I want to say, what's that movie? Hatchet. Like movies like Hatchet, where we know for sure we're not surviving. Victor Crowley is too berserk. I thought about the movies that I will possibly survive in. Now here's the thing. I'm gonna give y'all 6 horror movies that I think I could possibly survive in. And how I made the choice of these movies is I had to stick to like movies that were more on the supernatural, serial killer, or creature feature type realm. I had to exclude movies where it's like sociopath, psychopath. So movies like American Psycho, for one, you know, or The Night House. That's another one. Well, actually, I think that one was more supernatural, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, movies like that I had to exclude because, I mean, of course you're going to survive that. I mean, they're just a man at the end of the day, you know? Not only am I going to talk about 6 horror movies that I think I could possibly survive in and why, I'm going to talk about movies that I for sure know I'm going to die. Like, I am cooked when it comes to these movies. So yeah, that's going to be today's episode. And then I'm going to close off with talking about movies that I was watching for the time being of this recording. So let's go ahead first. Let's start off with 6 movies that I will survive in a horror movie. Or 6 movies I will survive in. I feel like I worded that so wrong, but that's just me. But anyway, first movie I think I could survive in is A Quiet Place. If you haven't seen Quiet Place before or heard of it, I mean, I feel like we should all know about what A Quiet Place is. I mean, it's very popular. Everyone It's been like a big budgeted film for the last few years or so. So I feel like a lot of us should know, especially since day one did come out sometime in 2024. I still haven't watched it at this point of the recording, so hopefully I watch it soon. But anyway, yeah, so A Quiet Place, as y'all know, or some of y'all might not know, this world is being invaded by aliens who attack people who make sounds. So any slight noise that you make, whether it's like a squeak of the floor, a yell, a, I don't know, you open up a chip bag or something. Oh, imagine opening a chip bag and you get killed by these fuckers. Or even like, imagine shitting. I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but I mean, I mean, not to be TMI, but you know, some people are loud shitters. So I remember one time I was in like a public bathroom. I don't remember where I was at or what I was doing. I just know I was in a public bathroom. So I'm going in, I'm taking a leak and whatever. And in one of the stalls, you just hear this guy just letting loose. Just like just drum rolls of shit coming out. And I'm just like, sheesh, that guy is shitting real loud. So yeah, I mean, just imagine like it's a quiet place world, and you have one of those moments where like you're just shitting like crazy. It's just like real loud and everything. Man. Like in the first movie, they had to have the mom give birth in a quiet room. So imagine like you have one of those days where like your shit is like you're taking a shit and it's one of those loud shits. Like it's just one of those shits that hit the water and splashes real loud and everything like that. And those aliens here, and man, that's instant death right there. It's like you get killed while taking a shit. That's insane. But anyway, I would survive this world, honestly, because despite me being such a sociable person on this here podcast, I'm really just a quiet person in real life. I'm just like, you know, most of the time I'm in quiet reflection most of the time, you know. So yeah, I don't think I would say shit in this world, honestly. So I think personally I could survive that. The next movie I think I could possibly survive is the It world, Pennywise. Don't matter which one, but the thing is, to defeat Pennywise, you have to face your trauma and beat the fear of your trauma. That's a lot for a lot of people. That's a lot for anybody, honestly. And I mean, I'm thinking about it right now. I'm like, even though I'm saying like I could beat this shit, but I'm trying to think like, what would my trauma actually really be? Honestly, like, what would Pennywise do to traumatize me? And I really have to think back to like a lot of my childhood and everything like that, you know. And I mean, just like some of us or most of us, I mean, we all didn't have such squeaky clean childhoods or whatever. You know, my childhood wasn't even that easy sometimes, but I'm trying to think like, what would Pennywise do to strike that fear for me, to strike that trauma for me, to where I just couldn't face it. If it was like me 10 years ago, Doom, like 2014 Doom or 2012 Doom, oh hell nah, man. I think I'm cooked. I think Pennywise got me cooked, you know. But I think for 2024, 25 Doom, I think I would have probably just stepped up. I know for sure I probably would have stepped up, you know, because now I'm all about like stepping up, facing things, and just trying to, you know, improve yourself, you know. I'm always all about like, how can we improve a situation? You know, how can I look for a solution to better myself. And that's something that we all should be looking for. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just got to do that shit alone, which could be kind of like sometimes unpopular because, you know, everyone always says like, oh, you know, look for people to help you out. But I mean, there's some things journey wise you have to go through by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to like go through a lot of like pain, tribulations, just to in order to get to that triumph part. You know, so going back to Pennywise, I mean, I think I know what Pennywise would do. Personally, am I going to talk about that on here? Hell no. Hell no. This isn't Maury. I'm not about to talk about my childhood traumas on here for y'all, but I definitely do know what Pennywise possibly would be going for. If he's sticking to just trauma from my childhood. Now, I mean, as an adult, we all go through adult traumas, bro. And I mean, I don't know, man. I don't even know what's worse. Is childhood trauma worse or is adult trauma worse? You know, because like, I feel like with childhood trauma, it kind of leads to adult behaviors that leads to adult traumas, especially if you haven't fully healed from the childhood trauma parts, you know? But I'm also thinking in the sense of like, yeah, maybe you didn't have any childhood traumas per se. Maybe there were bad moments in childhood, but there was no real childhood trauma. But you become an adult and you deal with a lot of trauma from being an adult. And I mean, I feel like when you're going through adult trauma, sometimes it's kind of hard to get over that shit. I mean, not to really sound all serious about like trauma and everything, but I mean, this is what, you know, it is about. It's about trauma at the end of the day. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, what route would Pennywise go with me? Is he going to stick with the trauma from my childhood? Or is Pennywise going to go for the jugular and try and hit me with some adult trauma? I don't know, but either way, I'm gonna try and face that shit. That shit is gonna probably break the hell out of me, but in the end, I think I'm gonna survive that. I think I have a good 60% survival rating in the It world. Honestly. But the next movie I think I would have survived is Evil Dead. And I mean, it's just real simple. I mean, those fuckers, all you have to do is just grab some high-powered tools and just take them ghouls out. But see, here's the thing that it gets complicated. Now, if you've seen any of the Evil Dead movies, it's not as simple as, okay, this person is a demon, you gotta go kill him. It's usually like your loved ones or someone you're close to that ends up turning into a demon, and that demon is trying to kill you. Now, this is where things get kind of psychological. Are you willing to kill a loved one? And that's just like in any zombie movies. Like, are you willing to kill a loved one just to survive? I don't know. I said I will survive. So, so that probably says a lot about me right there. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I'm thinking about it. It's like, it would have to depend on the dynamic of the relationship as well. So say like, if it's like a girlfriend or even like an ex that, you know, you're just recently broke up and what have you. You guys are trying to be cool. You're trying to be like friends and whatever. You know, you still love that person. You still care for them. And, you know, sometimes maybe you think about like, hey, can we get back together? Because, you know, we were so good together. But I'm thinking in a sense, like, if that person gets turned into a Evil Dead demon and they're trying to kill me, I don't know if I could do it. I think I'll probably get killed, bro. like straight up. I think I would get killed. I would be cooked. I would be cooked in that aspects. If it's like family, maybe like close friends, yeah, I think I would be cooked in that aspect as well. I mean, it's like it really takes a lot to get to that point of, okay, this is that person I know, to I gotta kill this person because they're not them anymore. They're a demon now. If you ever seen Evil Dead Rise, I mean that whole complexity about the mom being a demon and her trying to kill her kids and everything like that, that is some shit that could be very scarring. Like it could scar somebody, and the simple fact, like, they had to try and kill her. Yeah, they couldn't bring themselves to doing that. They couldn't, bro. Like, how can you bring yourself to that point of, okay, you have to really rationalize to yourself, okay, this is just a demon. But at the end of the day, you're like, well, what if we could fix it? Because that's the one thing I'll probably be thinking is, okay, if it's like, all those people that I mentioned, it's like, okay, how can we fix this? How can we reverse this effect? And the thing that sucks most about the Evil Dead, and when people get possessed by the Evil Dead, there's hardly any reversal spells that would take the demon out of these people. The only time we seen this was the Evil Dead with Jane Levy, where they actually cast the demon out of her. But in all the other films, we never really see like them getting the demon out of the person. Honestly speaking, if it's like a survival rating, I'll probably give myself a 40% survival rating, but I think I still could survive. Honestly speaking. So yeah, I think I could survive that one. I mean, especially if, okay, now say like if it's like a friend that you're kind of like iffy about, or it's like, you're not really friends with them, you're more like frenemies. Oh, 90%. 90% survival rating. That motherfucker is going down, bro. Like, honestly. Oh man. But the next horror movie I think I will survive is Saw. I know some of y'all probably listening and probably was like, Saw? Dude, what? I know. Saw. I think I could survive Saw. I don't know how I would survive Saw, but I think I could survive Saw. Honestly speaking, but I don't know. I'm thinking about like, and there's so many Saw movies I have to reflect on. Now it depends on the game. Let's first kind of like deconstruct this a bit. If it's a John Kramer game, oh, I could definitely survive that, because John Kramer's games are always about survival and learning lessons and appreciating life. Now, the thing is with John Kramer, most of the traps he puts you in are situations that kind of relate to whatever abuse that you're trying to do to yourself. So, kind of like with that one guy who was trying to commit suicide, he had to go through the cage of razor blades. I can't remember his name at the moment. I can't remember it on the top of my head. I mean, so many characters in that movie, so many minor characters, I should say, that are in this movie. But yeah, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, he had a bear cage, or he was stuck in a cage full of razor blades, and he had to escape that, but didn't really escape. Another guy, he was in a candle wax room, and he had to find a combination. Otherwise, the room filled up with gas, and the fire pretty much burned home dude and what have you. So Yeah, I mean, most of his games will relate to whatever destruction you're doing to yourself, and it's kind of like with the it world, with the Pennywise world. You're facing your trauma and you're facing your fear. It's a little bit more brutal because it's Jigsaw, but you're facing it and you're sacrificing a piece of your body in order to get close to some type of salvation and clarity with yourself. And I think that's what really interests me about Saw a lot of times. It's just that notion, that underlining tone of that for people who are trying to survive. Now, if it's Amanda that's doing this game, oh bro, I'm cooked. I am cooked. Like, I am done. There is no surviving this woman's game. I mean, you saw how that game played out in Saw 3. Oh my goodness. No. There is no surviving at all. Or if it's I want to say it's Detective Hoffman, if I'm not. Yeah, it's Detective Hoffman. If he's doing these games, I want to say you have a 50-50 chance of survival with him because he tries to be on the same wavelength as John Kramer. He didn't really make games where it was no survival. The only time he actually did games where it's no survival is if he hated you. Like, honestly, like we saw the final chapter. You saw how brutal those traps were. He was not trying to have survivors at all. Not at all. So yeah, I mean, if he didn't like you, he will make sure that you're picked off. For sure. Going back because those are 3 different character setting traps. So, as far as survival, I want to say I still got like a good 30. These numbers are getting lower. By the way, it's getting terrible. I swear. I know I said I'll survive in this, but shit. These numbers are getting real terrible, but other than that, I mean, I still think I can survive Saw. As long as he's like telling me to cut off a limb that I don't really need per se. Like, okay, if I had a choice to cut off something to survive Saw, and it has to be a limb. It can't be nothing like an ear or a finger or something like that. No, you have to give up a whole hand or a whole wrist or a whole arm, So me personally, I think I would go like, I think honestly, I'll probably go a whole hand, maybe up to like my elbow, like just to survive, bro. Imagine cutting that shit. That shit is gonna hurt, honestly. That's gonna be painful, but at least you're still living, honestly. I wouldn't want to cut off a leg or a foot or anything because I don't know, man. I like to walk. I like to walk in my exercise. I like to jump rope. I get my fitness on with the cordless jump rope because it's just like it's more safer inside to do it. Plus, I don't have anywhere outside to go to really jump rope outside. So for me, I'm like, all right, cordless jump rope, let's do it. I guess when I find that one place where I could do the jump rope, the actual jump rope, yeah, I'll do that shit outside. But yeah, man, I do the cordless jump rope, and I gotta tell y'all, don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on that. Everyone's like, cordless jump rope. Some people have heard of it, some people haven't. I'm one of those people that I've heard of it, like literally in 2024. I was like, there's a thing? Because I was trying to pick up jump roping. I was like, okay, let me pick up jump roping because it's a high intensity exercise and you kind of get more workout with the high intensity of a jump rope. But, I didn't know cordless jump ropes existed. And when I found out that existed, I was like, okay, now I got a bit of versatility because I'm someone that likes to go walking. I do running sometimes, but not too often. But the thing is, it's kind of always hard to get this workout shit going because it's like so much of a time crunch and everything like that. And it's kind of hard sometimes when you're so busy with life and everything, like working, you know, schooling, or even just like doing what I'm doing, podcasting. Your time is taken up by a lot of things. And me, I'm just thinking like, okay, what can I do that doesn't require too much time, but I'm gonna get a lot out of it? I discovered jump roping. They say 10 minutes. 10 minutes of jump roping alone is like 30 minutes of running. That's where I was sold. That's where I was sold. And I'm sorry, Team Doom, right now, if I'm talking about like working out, but I mean, a lot of us, some of us could benefit from working out more. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Team Doom, if you're trying to get on some type of fitness journey, bro, do jump rope. Jump rope, 10 minutes a day. I do 15, but 10 minutes a day, you'll be solid. You'll be solid, bro. Honestly, but I don't want to cut off a limb. That's why I would cut off like an arm or something. But yeah, 30%, I think that's where I survive. So if it's John Kramer doing the trap, I'll give myself a good 55%. I think I can survive his traps as long as he don't reverse bear trap me. Oh, I am done. That's 80. That's actually not even 80. That's 95% death. Oh man. All right, so the next movie that I feel like I for sure will probably survive is Get Out. And I mean, it's just plain and simple. Don't date white women. Nah, but all joking aside, I think I would survive that movie. I don't think I would. I don't know, but I'm thinking about it right now. Would I really survive that film? Because, I mean, here's what happened. So Chris, if y'all haven't seen Get Out, Daniel Kaluuya plays this character named Chris. He goes to his girlfriend's parents' house in the suburbs. And I don't know, man. I mean, I've dated a white girl before. I've met her family before. They actually love me and everything like that, But the thing is, like, the one thing that this movie tries to portray a lot is kind of like the whole dynamic, like the whole, two different culture dynamics coming together. And it's like Chris, he's just like, I'm nervous as hell. I don't want to be here really, but I'm here because, I'm here to meet the family because I'm dating the daughter, showing respects, blah, blah, blah. The family, all they doing is just keep reminding broski like, yeah, you're black. I love Obama, this, that, and the other. And it's just like, bro, like, I mean, real talk, we don't want to hear that shit. We don't want to hear that shit, Like, I know for me, when I was with the girl I was with, she had a cousin that just, he clowned her a lot about her dating me, but it was more like he clowned her to just pick on her, kind of like sibling wise. If you have siblings, we all know what it's like to have siblings. We all pick at each other. We all like talk trash to each other, but it's nothing like about being mean to each other or just hatred. No, that's just how our dynamics are with each other. The only time like things is actually real heated is when you could tell when the emotions is real. Honestly, that's how like the beef is real. The beef is actually real. Yeah, the crazy thing is like, you would think like the family would probably have a problem with me, but they didn't at all. The funny thing is, in this story that I'm telling about myself, is She had a family friend, a friend that was like a friend of her grandmother's and what have you, right? The friend is like this old school white lady, racist as fuck. Racist as fuck, bro. The thing is like, the first time I seen this lady, all this lady did was just stare at me the whole time. It's so funny. It's so funny when I think about this, because all she did was stare at me the whole time. She was just like looking at me. So for me, it's like, I didn't say shit to her, honestly, because I'm just like, okay, I already know how you feel about me, and I ain't trying to hear no, hard R's at me or anything like that, or what are you doing on this side of town, boy, or anything like that. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, she was just there looking at me, observing me, seeing what I was gonna do, making sure I probably didn't steal any gifts. She trying to like make sure she didn't have to call the manager or anything like that. But I mean, hey, I was there, I was just vibing with the girl I was with at the time, and yeah, I was just like, bro, I ain't even thinking about you. So that was the first year I seen her. Second year, oh, it was even more hilarious. The lady went from just staring at me to actually talking to me, honestly. And she didn't really talk to me. Like, she just, in passing when she left, was just like, oh, it's just nice seeing you again, And I'm just like, okay, yeah. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what the deal was with that one. In my mind, I'm thinking like, bro, I already know about you. But yeah, just know I ain't out here doing no fuck shit or anything like that. I ain't trying to cause any problems or issues. I'm just here trying to vibe with the girl I'm with. That's all. But yeah, it's kind of funny thinking about that. And when I was seeing Get Out, it just brought me back to that relationship in a way. So yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, don't date white women. Nah, I'm kidding. But as far as survival, I think I have a good 60, maybe 70% rate of surviving. Maybe, nah, that's a little too high. Because I'm thinking about the tea. The thing is, like, the mom in the movie had that tea. She brought Chris back to his trauma. Here we go again, talking about trauma again. That pretty much like put him in that sunken place and everything like that. So I'm thinking to myself, bro, if that was me, could I survive that? Honestly. And I mean, I think I could, but I also think like I probably wouldn't. Honestly speaking, I probably wouldn't. But I mean, if I knew these people were like on some evil shit, like Evil Morty or some shit like that, I think I would have a good 60%. I think 60% is fair. Don't you think 60% is fair, Team Doom? I think 60% is fair. I think I got a 60% survival rating if I could figure out what was going on and realize that these people are trying to literally take my body and use it as an experiment to kind of keep their race going. Which is so crazy if you think about that. I don't know how Jordan Peele came up with that shit, but okay. The last movie I think I would survive in is Talk to Me. And plain and simple, why? Because I would not play that fucking game. Like, like if you ever seen Talk to Me, y'all know like the reason why Homegirl and all those people were going through whatever they were going through is because they were playing with that hand. Me personally, I don't really care for games like that. I mean, I didn't even play Charlie, and I just thought that shit was stupid, honestly, because we all know, like, that shit wasn't real. Somebody was sitting there blowing on the pencil and all that just to make it seem real. But, yeah, I wouldn't even play that game at all. Oh, speaking of Charlie, I mean, this is so old. All the little Gen Zers, Gen Alphas, they like Charlie. What are you talking about? I mean, if they're listening to this podcast, they probably won't know what I'm talking about. But Charlie Charlie was a game where people call themselves conjuring up a spirit with pencils. So basically, they place the pencils like I want to say like a cross in a way, but they had to be balanced. The pencils had to be balanced on each other. So the way they conjured up this spirit, they had to say the words, Charlie, Charlie, are you there? Mind you, this is a game that went viral on the internet. A lot of, people, a lot of kids, they were doing this trend for a while, for like maybe just like a week or two, honestly. And yeah, basically when the pencil moved, that means like Charlie is there. Talking about Charlie, Charlie kind of reminds me of this video that I saw that was making fun of the game. So this guy, Latino dude, he had a couple of bottles of I want to say Dos Equis, of all beers, right? Dos Equis. So his thing was like, oh, he didn't say Charlie, Charlie. He actually said Jose. So he changed the game up. He said Jose. So his thing, he was like, Jose, Jose, are you there? Now, mind you, the beers that he was using were full. He did a cut because usually with Charlie, Charlie, you don't actually cut the video. You actually play the video through just to see the pencil move, so people could get freaked out and people get these fake reactions and what have you. In Jose, Jose, Broski literally was like, okay, after I say Jose, Jose, are you there? Broski cut the video and it cuts to like 2 beer bottles now empty. That shit was fucking hilarious because Broski did this most outrageous reaction and he's like, oh my God, fucking Jose is here. And it was hilarious. It was hilarious. If it's still somewhere on YouTube, I will try and link it because that shit is like hilarious. It had me dying when it came out. I still love it to this day. So, but going back to Talk to Me, bro, like I honestly don't see myself being that curious to have a spirit invade my body just to get a reaction from everybody. Like, I don't know. I'm just not into shit like that, honestly. So if I saw this shit happening right in front of me, I would think it's just weird. And I'm thinking like, yo, why y'all playing with ghosts? like that would be my biggest thing is like, why are y'all playing with the spirits? Yeah, I mean, I would say like for Talk to Me, that's 100% survival rate because I wouldn't even play that shit in the first place. All right, so those are the movies that I would survive in. Now let me talk about the movies that are for sure I am cooked in. And this one is like for sure I'll be cooked, bro. So this one is more of a combo of movies. This first one, everything else is basically like straight up the movie, but this first one, this is a combo of movies. So the first, and I had to put them all, like honestly, I had to put them all together because they all deal with the same thing, and I'll let you know why. But I mean, if you hear the name of the movies, y'all probably already figure out why. So these movies I would not survive in because it'll be for sure death. Under the Skin, Midsummer, It Follows, Hostel, and Climax. Why those 5 movies? Because they all deal with fucking. Like honestly, bro, I would not survive these movies at all, especially Under the Skin. I'm sorry. Scarlett Johansson has been like one of my celebrity crushes for so many years before, I discovered Gigi Saul Guerrero. Yeah, I would be cooked by Scarlett. I mean, come on, man. Imagine Scarlett Johansson. I mean, even though she's not Scarlett Johansson in the movie, but it's Scarlett Johansson. Just imagine Scarlett Johansson is trying to have you have sex with her, and she's just like throwing it away, like she's just like giving it to you. Oh yeah, bro, I'm cooked. I am cooked in this movie. I am gonna follow her wherever she takes me to her molesting chambers, and I am definitely gonna be in that of whatever that shit is and die. like I'm not even bullshitting. I know I am dead. So yeah, no BS. Midsummer, I'm dying. Yeah, if the Hogger wanted to use me as a well, if they wanted to molest me to impregnate one of their villagers, yeah, I am cooked, because after that they're pretty much done with me and they're gonna kill me. So and I'm pretty sure that's what happened to Danny afterwards, after she had what's his face's kid. The other thing is, the reason why I wouldn't survive Midsummer is because the Hagra is racist as fuck, bro. I don't know if y'all realize the Hagra is racist. They have this story where they talked about this black man, and I guess he came to the village, and it was, I can't remember fully what they said in the movie, but they talked about him like coming to the village and I guess like causing trouble or whatever. Either way, these motherfuckers is racist as fuck, bro. So that's another reason why I wouldn't even survive Midsummer. It follows, yeah, I fuck somebody and now I got like the monster AIDS. Like, yeah, no, I am not surviving, bro. Like, honestly. And the only way to get rid of it is fucking somebody else and passing the monster AIDS to someone else. Yeah. I mean, I could survive, but at the same time, I know I'm cooked. Hostile? Oh yeah, throw me in somewhere in Europe where there's loose women that's trying to get fucked. Yeah, no, I'm cooked. I am cooked. I am so cooked, and I am cooked in Climax also because, I mean, there was just like too much drugs going on, and you know, everybody was getting too comfortable with themselves. Yeah, cooked, honestly. Hate to sound a little graphic, but I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, I will be cooked in these films. The next film that I know for sure I'll be cooked in is When Evil Lurks. If y'all have ever seen this movie, it is bonkers. Like, it is straight bonkers with what happens in this film. Basically, like, there's just this evil that's going around. You know, all the kids are kind of like flocking to it in a way. People are getting killed by it. They're like literally killing themselves or killing other people, you know, and it's a movie that I would say like is one of my favorites from 2023. Not only because of how good like the story was and the premise of the movie, but just how like the overall effects were and just like the sheer brutality that these fools went through to kill these characters off. I mean, just that axe scene, bro. I don't even need to go into any more details. That axe scene was probably one of the most standout scenes from that film. Well, besides the one where the mother is eating the brains of her child. But I mean, we ain't even gonna get into all that. But either way, just to know like there's an evil lurking around, and it literally could get into you to have you either kill somebody or kill yourself. Oh, that's scary, bro. That I'm gonna be honest, that's really scary. That scares the shit out of me. And it's like, yeah, I know I would be cooked if that was me in this film. Another movie that I know for sure I am cooked in is Malignant. Gabriel is not for play. He is not. Gabriel was not playing no games at all. And the thing is, like, I'm trying to think, like, okay, if Gabriel wanted to kill me, I would have had to do something to Homegirl. I can't remember her name in the movie, but Homegirl in the movie that's Gabriel's sister. Somehow I had to do something to her to where she had to go back into that trauma and think like, oh man, Walterdoom did this to me, so now I gotta kill him. You know, so I have a possible chance of survival. But at the same time, if I'm one of those asshole characters in that movie, which I don't want to put myself as, but I will put that as myself anyway, I know I am going to be cooked. Another movie I want to say I am definitely cooked in is I Saw the TV Glow. And I mean, I'm going to tell y'all right now, if if Mr. Melancholy wanted to put me in the Midnight Realm and my Midnight Realm was as comfortable as Owen's Midnight Realm, oh yeah, I'm done. I am done, y'all. like there is no saving me. I am literally Owen in that movie. You know, some chick tell me like, hey broski, we got to get out of here because this isn't our reality. Our reality is literally like somewhere else where we're superheroes and whatever. I'm just looking at them like, bro, you crazy. Fuck out my face. like seriously, I really would have did the same thing Owen did. I would not believe a single word that Maddie said, bro. Like, honestly. So yeah, I definitely would know I'll be cooked in that film. And the last movie I think I'll be cooked in is Barbarian. I'm sorry, but if some monster who wanted to be a mother wanted to put their nasty titty in my mouth to breastfeed me, yeah, I am donezo. Honestly. There is no escaping. I mean, but see, here's the thing. I would have had to do some investigating in that house in order to get to that point. And honestly speaking, I don't think I would have investigated. Now, maybe I probably would have, because if I discovered a random room with a random tunnel, I'll be like, the fuck is this? But at the same time, I think I probably would have called somebody and just been like, yo, I got a tunnel in my house. Like, what do I do? You know? But I mean, again, this was like an Airbnb. So, I mean, I don't know if they were able to actually call somebody if they needed to, but I don't know. But either way, I know I will be cooked if I got caught up by that demon. And that demon wanted to like treat me as a baby and all that. Oh man, I would hate it because that's a nasty ass titty. But at the same time, I would have just been like, yeah, baby, goo goo gaga, you know, kind of thing. But those are the 5 movies I know for sure I will be cooked in, honestly. So we're gonna go ahead and take another break. When I come back, I'm gonna come back with the outro. So be right back. Yo, and we are back for the outro. So, as y'all know, this is my what I am watching list time. I low-key want to call this the slasher corner again and just talk about movies that I've watched. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll revamp the slasher corner maybe for future episodes. I kind of miss it. I kind of miss it, bro. But I don't miss the old name. I'm be honest, I really don't miss the old name. But movies that I've watched at the time of this recording. So I watched The Purge Anarchy. I watched it on Tubi. They had it on there. I think I was looking at just shit randomly just on their on-demand listing. So one of the things they had on demand was The Purge Anarchy, so I decided to watch that. Another rewatch that I did was Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, and it's still terrible. It's honestly still terrible to me. Alright, so another rewatch was All Hallows Eve. I still love Art the Clown. That movie was awesome. Another movie that I watched for the first time, I watched Death Streamer. This is a vampire movie where a vampire is live streaming his deaths, his kills, I should say, not his deaths, but his kills I want to say this is one of those horny watches. I didn't think it was gonna be a horny watch, but it is one of those horny watches because there is a lot of titties in this movie. I gotta stop saying things like that. Some people are gonna think I'm a chauvinist, but there's a lot of nudity. Basically, there's a lot of female nudity. Well, I'm gonna say this, you know, because I really do feel this way. But yeah, let's bring back tits in film, but and let's keep it equal. Let's keep it equal. I mean, y'all can still have your, you know, dicks in movies, but let's keep tits. Let's bring back tits. I feel like we're seeing less of them now in film, but I mean, hey, whatever. I need to stop, but yeah, Death Streamer, it was alright, but I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite watches, honestly, but it's alright. But anyway, the last film that I watched during this time of the recording was Mr. Crockett. You can catch that on Hulu, and it wasn't that bad, honestly. I think it was really good. It has a bit of that fantasy elements, kind of that fantasy horror. Feels like a lot like Five Nights at Freddy's or I Saw the TV Glow kind of feel. And this movie is dealing with like just this guy who has a Mr. Rogers Neighborhood type show, and he's basically like killing parents and kidnapping kids and all that. So it's a very interesting film. I enjoyed it for the most part, but I do think there was like parts that could have been better in that film. But either way, it was still a good movie. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out for today. You know, if you want to follow me on them social medias, it is Walterdoom Horror on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. If you want to donate to my Ko-fi, you know, go ahead. The links will be in the bio. Yeah, I mean, if you want to bless your boy, you know, hey, whatever you bless him with, that's all it's going. All it's going to is the show. I had like the most major brain fart right now. This is how you know it's time to end the recording, bro. But anyway, yeah, this has been another episode of Filming Guts. This is the Guts episode. So yeah, as y'all know, this is always like my opinions. So if y'all have any opinions you want to like kind of throw my way about what I said, or if you have movies that, you know, you feel like you will survive in, go ahead and just drop it in the comments. But other than that, I'm signing out for today. Filming Guts, Walterdoom. This is America. Don't let them catch you slipping now. Stay diabolical, people. Peace.